Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel at the rate Reena Singh classes. Today we are diving into a really important and timely significant topic, sustainable development, which is very important topic for the environment and for the UPSC student as well. In this video, I will be breaking down what sustainable development actually means, its types, significance, limitation, and the major challenges we face today. We will also look into the different global and Indian initiatives that are being taken to promote sustainability. And I will share insights from the United Nations Development Report 2024 and key initiative taken by the United Nations Sustainable Development Report 2024. So you are completely up to date. Whether you are a student or a parent, an environmental enthusiast, or just someone curious about how we can build a better future, this video will give you a clear and simple understanding of one of the most crucial topics of our time. So stay tuned, hit the like button if you are excited, and let's get started with the journey toward a more sustainable world. Sustainable Development Goals are a set of 17 global goals established by the United Nations in the year 2015 as part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. These goals provide a comprehensive framework for addressing social, economic, and environmental challenges to achieve a sustainable future for all. The social development goals build upon the earlier Millennium Development Goals but are more comprehensive and ambitious in their scope. They address a wide range of interconnected issues and issues including poverty, eradication, education, health, gender equality, clean energy, environmental protection, and sustainable economic growth. So they address these important issues. The social development goals provide a holistic framework for government, businesses, civil society organization, and individuals to work together towards a more equitable, inclusive, and sustainable world. So it helps to make a more equitable, inclusive, and sustainable world. Achieving these goals requires collective action, innovative approaches, and a strong partnership across all sectors of society. All these 17 goals are interconnected, and progress in one goal often relies on progress in others. The social development goals recognize the integrated nature of sustainable development and call for collaborative and holistic approach to achieve a more equitable, inclusive, and sustainable world for present and future generation. Meaning of sustainable development is a development that meets the need of present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. The focus of sustainable development is far broader than just the environment. It is also about ensuring a strong, healthy, and just society. This means meeting the diverse needs, different needs of all people in existing communities as well as in future communities. It promotes personal well-being and social inclusion, creating equal opportunity. Sustainable development promotes personal well-being and social inclusion. It has emerged as the building principle for long-term global development. It consists of three pillars. It seeks to achieve balanced economic development, social development, and environmental protection. So, three pillars which are included in the sustainable developments is to balance economic development, social development, and environmental protection. Without nature, we have nothing. Without nature, we are nothing. Without nature, we have nothing. Without nature, we are nothing. These are the words of United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres delivered at the historic United Nations COP15 Biodiversity Summit, which was held in Montreal, Canada in December in the year 2022. Without nature, we have nothing. Without nature, we are nothing. He emphasized the critical need for action to safeguard, to protect nature and biodiversity, all the flora and fauna of nature. As we all are aware that environmental sustainability is essential for preserving the planet's natural resources. So when we protect the environment, when we sustain the environment, the planet's natural resources will also be protected. It protects our ecosystem also, mitigate climate change, promote human health and well-being, achieve long-term social and economic development. So it is a core concept of the sustainable development goal. So meet the long-term social and economic development. So by integrating environmental sustainability into the sustainable development goals, the global community acknowledges the interconnectedness of environmental issues with social and economic development. It emphasizes the need to pursue a balanced and integrated approach to ensure a sustainable future for both current and future generations. So we have to make a sustainable future for current also, for present also, and for future generation as well. Features of sustainable development. Sustainable development encompasses a range of features, different features that aim to balance economic growth, social equality, and environmental protection. So, the main aim of the sustainable development is to balance economic growth, social equality, and environmental protection. So, some of the few key features are intergenerated equity, integration of environment and development, inclusive economic growth, which is very important. Social inclusion and equity should be maintained. Sustainable resource management, participatory governance, resilience and adaptability, technological innovation. So these are the key features of sustainable development to balance economic growth, social equity, and environmental protection. Under the integrated equity features, it ensures that the needs of the present are met without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So intergenerated equity is a very important. Integration of environment and developments. This policy promote the integration of environmental consideration into economic and social policy. If we protect the environment, the economic and social policy must be protected, and it recognizes that healthy ecosystem are very important for sustainable development. Inclusive economic growth. It promotes inclusive economic growth. It focuses on creating equal economic opportunities that benefit all segments of society, reducing inequality and ensuring that economic benefits reach marginalized communities. So inclusive economic growth is very mandatory for sustainable development. It promotes social inclusion and equity. It emphasizes the importance of social equity, aiming to ensure that all individuals have access to essential services, resources, and opportunities, regardless of any caste, creed, socioeconomic background. It promotes sustainable resource management. It advocates for the responsible use of natural resources, promoting practices that ensure that their availability for future generation while minimizing waste and environmental degradation. So we have to minimize waste, and in daily life and environmental degradation, we have to degrade less environmental resources. So resource management, sustainable resource management is very crucial. It promotes participatory governance. It encourages all stakeholders' participation in decision making processes, ensuring that the voices of local communities are heard and considered in development planning. So, participatory governance ensure that the voices of all the local communities are heard and it considered in development planning, in social development planning. Resilience and adaptability. It promotes the development of system that can withstand environmental, economic, and social shocks, enhancing communities' ability to adapt to changing circumstances. So, resilience and adaptability is very important for development of sustainable development, social, economic, environmental. Technological innovation, it encourages using sustainable technologies and practice that improve, reduce environmental impact, and enhance the quality of life. Objectives of sustainable developments. There are various objectives of sustainable developments. It eliminates poverty in all its forms, ensuring that all individuals have access to basic needs and opportunities for improvement. So it helps in eliminating poverty. It fosters inclusive economic growth, that it creates jobs, reduces inequality, and enhances living standards without compromising environmental integrity. So it fosters inclusive economic growth. which help in creating jobs and reduces inequality, reduces unemployment, and enhances living standard without compromising environmental integrity. It ensures equal access to resources, opportunities, and services for all individuals. So all individual can use equal access to resources, opportunities, and services, promoting gender equality. There is no discrimination between male and female, so it promotes gender equality and the empowerment of marginalized groups. It protects and restore ecosystem. It conserve biodiversity and manage natural resources sustainably to maintain the planet's health. So objectives of sustainable development is to maintain the planet health also. So we have to protect our ecosystem. We have to conserve our biodiversity and you have to manage our natural resources. It promotes resource efficiency and reduce waste, encouraging sustainable production and consumption patterns practices. So reduce waste, we have to reduce the waste also to maintain our planet. We have to consumption pattern practices promotes good consumption practices should be promoted. It mitigates climate change impacts by reducing greenhouse gas emission. So we have to reduce the greenhouse gas emission, that is carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, water vapor. These gases are very harmful because it is creating global warming. So we have to mitigate climate change impacts by reducing greenhouse gases, enhancing resilience and promoting adaptation strategies. To develop urban areas that are inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable, improving living conditions and reducing environmental footprints. Objective of sustainable development also ensure inclusive and equitable quality education. That is very important. The students should get quality education, inclusive education, equitable education, so that all the student holistic development should be promoted and should be taken place. And it promotes lifelong learning opportunities for all, fostering skills and knowledge of for sustainable living. So this is the reason the NEP 2020 is and emphasizes to promotes inclusive and equitable quality education, which is in turn associated with the sustainable development goal. To strengthen partnership at local, national, and global levels, fostering collaboration among government, civil society, and the private sector to achieve sustainable development goals. So it strengthen partnership at local level, national levels, and global levels. Civil sectors, civil society, private sector to achieve sustainable development goals with the help of a positive, productive collaboration among governments. It ensures healthy lives and promotes well-being for all ages, addressing health disparities and improving health condition, improving access to essential health care services. Needed importance of sustainable development, why there is a need of sustainable development. So the earth is our common home, the earth where we are residing, and our survival and development depend on the resources provided by the environment. However, these environment resources are limited. So the resources provided by the environment are limited. It's not like that we can use it and then it will be regenerated. These environmental resources are limited and we are residing on earth, and this earth is providing our different type of resources. Despite increasing human needs because of the increase in population, the earth cannot be made bigger and richer to supply our growing demands. It's not possible. The earth will give us all the supply all our needs to fulfill our all needs. Our development activities should be enabled to continue growth in the long term. Future generation must get what we have. So we have to protect our environmental resources for future generation. Consequently, we must prudently use resources to let our generation live comfortably. So finally, we have to use our resources very judiciously, very prudently, reserve our resources, and in this way, we will keep all the resources for our future generation. It is necessary and important to balance our economic, environmental, and social needs, allowing well-being for now and future generations. So we have to balance with the help of protecting our environmental resources. We can balance our economic, environmental, and social needs, which help not in not which help not present generation. It will also help future generations. It encourages us to conserve and enhance our resources base by gradually changing how we develop and how we use technology. So technologies also plays very important role in sustainable development. Countries must be allowed to meet their basic needs of employment, food, energy, water, and sanitation. So all the countries must be give these basic needs of employment, food, energy, water, and good sanitation. It implies ways in which development activities do not damage the environment. So the government must take care that different types of development activities is happening in this in the in all the countries. It must not damage the environment. It undoubtedly sets certain limits on human activities. It must be understood that when supply cannot be increased, need must be reduced. So we have to use all the environmental resources very judiciously. Components of sustainable development. Sustainable development, as we know that it is a marriage of economy and ecology. It is a marriage of economy and ecology. What does it mean? It means to attain economic growth without compromising the ecological balance. So we have to all the countries should maintain their economic growth without compromising the ecological balance. We have to take care of our ecosystem. We have to take care of our biodiversity. Some of the components of sustainable development are environmental, economic, and social. So these three factors must be benefited and so that the sustainable development take place in the world. Environmental sustainability deals with the carrying capacity of natural resources. It emphasizes increasing forest cover, conserving biodiversity hotspots, protecting watersheds, and adopting a holistic approach. So we have to increase forest cover, we have to take care of biodiversity hotspots, conserve our hotspots, protect water sets, and in this way we will approach holistically. Environmental friendly technologies should also be encouraged to mitigate local to global level environmental problems such as climate change and biodiversity loss. So when there is a problem of climate change and biodiversity loss will be encountered, it should be solved not only in the local level, it should be solved from local to global level. Second component is economic. Economic sustainability emphasizes promoting self-sustaining development projects through adequate and transparent budgeting. It should alleviate poverty, increase per capita income, promote income generation activities, including off-farm employment, green micro enterprises, and establish a mechanism for fair benefit sharing. Prudence and equity should be considered when building a sustainable economy. However, considering only economic aspects may not promote sustainability. So we have to promote environmental, economic, and social. We have to maintain a balanced approach in these three aspects. Social sustainability focuses on public participation in development and developmental activity, fulfilling basic human needs such as better education and improved health facilities. So social in there is a good interrelationship between different people, different countries in different activities and fulfilling basic human needs such as better education provided to every students and improved health facilities for every member of the society. This can be ensured by increasing environmental awareness through the capacity development of local communities with an eye on economically and social disadvantaged groups. Also, indigenous communities shall be made aware of sustainable ways of resource utilization. So, in this way, these three components, we can do the sustainable development. Principle of sustainable development. The relevant body of United Nations have formulated, clarified and adopted the basic principle at the highest level. They are as follows. Holistic approach, social justice, inter and intra-generation equity, sustainable resource management, integration. So the first principle is holistic approach. All most systems are interrelated elements that interact with one another. Any intervention may trigger ripple effects, even in remote systems. Relying on knowledge of the wider environment and global trends can adequately address local changes. So there must be holistic approach to rely on knowledge of wider environment and global trends. So there must be social justice, so the right to adequate living condition must be recognized and fundamental human right must be guaranteed. All people should have equal opportunities to acquire the knowledge and skills required to become worthy members of the society. The social justice must be given. There is the equitable resources should be assessed by all the members to acquire the knowledge and skills which is required to become a worthy member of society, successful members of the society. Inter and intra-generation equity, sustainable development interests are focused on people. It is mostly focused on people. We people. The development and environmental needs of present generation must be addressed without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So we have to take care of all the development and so that these every aspects should be conserved for the future generation. Next principle is sustainable resource management. Sustainable resource management must consider the environmental carrying capacity limitation. Biodiversity is also a natural resource and we prioritize its conservation. Integration. To elaborate, evaluate, and implement sectoral policy, plans, and programs, economic, social, and environmental consideration and their relationship must also be considered to ensure that mutually reinforce each other. Moreover, local, regional, and national initiative activities must be coordinated. So, for sustainable development, local, regional, national, global activities must be coordinated. Utilization of next principle is utilization of local resources, social responsibility, public participation, polluters by pay principle. It is one principle, precaution and prevention. So utilization of local resources efforts should be made to supply communities needs on a local level from locally available resources. Local features and diversity should be preserved. So local features, need, diversity must be preserved. It must be preserved for the future generation as well. Preservation and sustainable utilization of man-made environment and cultural heritage are also essential tasks. So we have to preserve our environment, man-made environment, artificial environment, and natural environment, cultural heritage for future generation. Next principle is social responsibility. Unsustainable production and consumption pattern must be changed to enable sustainable development and ensure a high quality of life. So there should be no unstable production and consumption pattern. Businesses, social responsibility and cooperation between the private and public sector must be also be strengthened. So both the sector, private and public sector must be strengthened. Public participation. All must have adequate access to information affecting social and economic life and the environment. In addition, information on decision-making processes must be made available to the public. So all the information on decision-making process must be made available to the publics, and in this way, the public participation should be encouraged. Next principle is polluters pay principle. Prices must reflect the real cost paid by society for activities involved in consumption and production and for their impacts, including the cost of using natural resources. So prices must reflect the real cost, which is to be paid by the society for any activities involved in consumption and production and their impacts, including the cost of using natural resources. These activity engage in activities that damage or pollute the environment must pay for damage caused to human health on or the environment. Next principle, we have to take precaution and prevention also. Whether the possibility of severe or irreversible damage is perceived, a lack of complete scientific certainty should not be used as an excuse for delaying effective action to prevent damage to the environment or endangering human health. Action must be taken in view of the gravity of the perceived. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. Advantages of sustainable development. Sustainable development offer numerous advantages that contribute to the well-being of individuals, communities, and the planets. Some key benefits are environmental protection, economic growth, social equality, improved quality of life, resilience to climate change. So, sustainable development are having numerous advantages that contribute not only to the human and communities, it in turns improve our planet also, planet's condition also, environmental resources also. So environmental, we have to, the first one is the environmental protection. It promotes the responsible, careful use, judicious use of natural resources, helping to protect ecosystem, conserve biodiversity, and it is our prime duty to reduce pollution. So environmental protection is very important. We have to protect our environment and reduce pollution, protect ecosystem, conserve biodiversity. Economic advantages, second one is the economic growth. By fostering sustainable industries and practices, it encourages innovation and job creation. It creates job as well, leading to long-term economic stability. So it also promotes social equity, reduce inequalities by ensuring that all communities have access to different resources, all resources, opportunities, and services, promoting social justice and inclusivity. It is a main agenda of the sustainable development to promote social equality, social inclusivity. It promotes improved quality of lives. In turn, the ultimate, what is the final motto of sustainable development is to improve quality of life. It focuses on enhancing living standards, providing access to clean water, healthcare, education, and safe housing. So it improve quality of life by providing clean water, healthcare, education, safe housing. Next one, the last one is the most important advantage is the resilience to climate change. It encourages adaptability. It encourages adapted strategies that help communities and ecosystem cope with the impacts of climate change, reducing vulnerability and enhancing resilience. Environment development trade-off. Environmental and development are closely related issue. If our environment are not protected, our development is also not going to happen. So inclusive development is only possible when with adequate emphasis on environment protection. So first we have to protect our environment. So in turn there is a inclusive development take place in all aspects, social, economical, and then if we are taking care of our environment. Development and environment need to be seen as complementary and not antagonistic terms. So both are complementary to each other, not it is an antagonistic term. So we have to take care of environment, the development in all aspects of human take place. The debate between environment and development is more intensive now as India is on an ambitious growth path, due to which there is less regard for people's right and existing natural resources. Many countries have pushed forward their economies by developing national industries. However, there is concern that the economic targets are being attained at the expense of the ecosystem. Admittedly, some countries may place economic developments ahead of environmental protection, thus ruining the local environments. So it's not the good thing that countries are taking care of more economic development, not taking care of environmental protection. In this way, it will ruin the local environment. As these needy countries lack adequate financial and human resources, advanced technologies, and experiences, they have to rely on natural resources to maintain their living standard. Besides, people in stricken areas are not likely to be equipped with knowledge to preserve ecosystem. It is also very important concern that poverty-stricken areas are not equipped with knowledge how to preserve the ecosystem, how to take care of our biodiversity. As a result, unchecked and reckless use of local raw materials may occur, which can strain natural resources. In this view, economic development and environmental protection can be conflicting. Economic growth was regarded as central to development endeavors up until the year 1980s. Gradually, development came to be interpreted as a multi-dimensional concept that should encompass material, social, environment, political, and cultural components. Previously, economic growth was regarded as the center to development endeavors up until the 1980s. Gradually, it encompasses the multidimensional approach, which includes material, social, environment, political, and cultural components as well. However, it is necessary that development always come at the expense of the environment. Many developed countries set perfect example of progress made while considering environmental factors as well. So many developed countries are taking care of the environment, taking care of their environmental factors, environments. For example, the compliance cost incurred by United Nations manufacturers for pollution control and abatement are among the highest in the world. This is a very important point that United Nations manufacturers, the compliance cost taken care for pollution control and abatement are among the are highest in the world. There are commonly several trade-offs between the environment, food security, and other aspects of development. Some of the trade-offs are avoidable, but others are not. The underlying issues were clarified and brought into prominence by the Brundtland Commission. Brundtland Commission reports emphasize the difficult task of reconciling the short-term imperative of increasing food and agricultural production as well as incomes for the current generation with the longer term but almost unspecifiable need to conserve natural resources to meet the requirement for future generation. So it is about the World Commission on Environment and Development in the year 1987. So we have to conserve everything for our future also. Thus, while the long-term objective may be the sustainable development of agriculture, the long-term objective is to protect our agriculture, to do the sustainable development of agriculture and then the whole economy. The pathways involved may have to breach the environmental requirements of this goal in this short of to medium term. Hence, it is important to minimize the trade-offs. United Nations Sustainable Development Report 2024, which is a very important report given by the United Nations. Recently, the 9th edition of the Sustainable Development Report released. It was released by United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network, SDSN, has highlighted that the world is significantly behind a schedule in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations in the year 2015. So what this report has highlighted, the world is significantly behind schedule in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations in the year 2015. So it is lagging behind. United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network is a global network which was established in the year 2012 by the United Nations. It aims to promote practical solutions for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals at national and international levels. It focuses on mobilizing expertise by connecting universities, research institutions, and national laboratories to identify and develop solutions for tackling critical sustainability changes. So, develop solutions for tackling critical sustainability challenges. The Secretariat of Sustainable Development Solution Network is located in Paris, France, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, New York, US, United States. What are the key findings of Sustainable Development Report 2024? Key findings are global social development progress, food and land system, global SDG progress. It is a very important point. It should be noted down. It must be noted down. Only 16% of SDG targets are on track to be achieved by the year 2030, with 84% showing limited or reverse progress. 84% showing limited or reverse progress. So 16% of SDG targets are on track to it should be achieved by the year 2030. Since 2020, global SDG progress has stagnated, particularly for SDG 0 hunger, 11 sustainable cities, 14 life below water, 15 life on land, and 16 peace, justice, and a strong institution. Now again, there is in global SDG progress. It reveals that there is a significant reversal in progress. There is a reversal in progress. It is observed in obesity rates, press freedom, red list index, sustainable nitrogen management, and life expectancy at birth, influenced by COVID-19 and other factors. So, significant reversal in progress. Progress towards SDG 9, slightly positive trends. It is showing slightly positive trends in industry, innovation, and in infrastructure. Now, next key feature is food and land system. If targets related to food and land system are off track, it reported that globally 600 million people will still suffer from hunger by the year 2030, combined with increasing obesity globally. So, nearly globally, 600 million people will still suffer from hunger by the year 2030. It is really very pitiful. Greenhouse gas emission from agriculture, forestry, and other land use represent EFOLU represent almost a quarter of annual global GHG emissions. Greenhouse gases emission. In that, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, water vapor emission, which is harmful and creating more global warming. Nordic countries lead in now about the countries. Nordic countries lead to social development goal achievement with Finland score 86.4, ranked first. Finland ranked first, score 86.4, followed by Sweden 85.7. Denmark 85.0, Germany 83.4, and France. BRICS and BRICS plus countries, Egypt, Ethiopian, Iran, Saudi Arabia, UAE, have shown faster than average SDG progress since 2015. So BRICS and BRICS plus countries are showing progress, showing faster than average progress. Bottom three countries, South Sudan, Central African Republic, and Chad. The East and South Asia are the region with the most SDG progress since 2015. East and South Asia are the region with the most SDG progress since 2015. Investment challenges. In the United Nations report, Sustainable Development Report 2024, it illustrates about the investment challenges as well. According to the World Bank, about 10% of the world's population lives in extreme poverty, surviving on less than USD 1.99 a day. So it's really miserable. According to the World Bank, about 10% of the world population lives in extreme poverty, surviving on less than USD 1.98. It also reports that only 43% of adults in low-income countries have access to formal financial services, limiting their ability to invest and save for future. They are not able to invest anywhere. They are not able to save for the futures. And the reports say that the 43% of adults are in low-income status. The International Monetary Fund estimates that low-income countries face an annual gap of USD 290 billion in funding for their SDG, social development goals. The Global Education Monitoring Report by UNESCO states that around 262 million children and youth are out of school. It is really surprising The Global Education Monitoring Report by UNESCO states that around 262 million children and youth are out of school, with more than half of them in sub-Saharan Africa and Southern Asia. The International Labour Organization highlights that around 152 million children are involved in child labor, depriving them of education and proper development opportunities. So International Labour Organization also emphasizes that still there are child labor is going on in different countries. And in that, about around 152 million children are involved. They are not getting proper education. They are deprived of education, and there is no proper development of these children are taking place. Global cooperation. According to the report, it has introduced a new index on countries' support to United Nations multilateralism, ranks country based on their engagement with the United Nations system. Barbados has topped the UNMI index, followed by Antigua, Barbuda, Uruguay, Mauritius, and Maldives. Bottom 5 countries include the United States, Somalia, South Southern Israel, and Democratic Republic of Korea. So these are the global cooperation report. In that, they introduce a new index on countries' support to United Nations-based multilateralism, engagement with the United Nations system. Barbados has topped the UNMI index, followed by Antigua, Barbuda, Uruguay, Mauritius, Maldives. Bottom 5 countries include US, Somalia, South Sudan, Israel, and Democratic Republic Korea. This index takes into account factors such as treaty ratification, votes at the UNGA membership in United Nations Organization, participation in conflicts, and multilateralization, use of unilateral sanction, and financial contribution to the United Nations. What is the performance of India in Social Development Goal Index? According to the report, UN report 2024. Ranking, India secured 109th rank with the overall score of 64. Status of SDG target, only around 30% of SDG targets are on track or have been achieved. There is limited progress in the other 40% of the targets, and in around 30% of targets, the situation is worsening. Average performance of social development goals, highest performance is observed in achieving social development goal 1, 4, 12, and 13. These goals we are going to just learn in the next video. International Spillover Index. This index is a metric used to assess how a country's action impact the ability of other countries to achieve the social development goals. So how one country is impacting the other countries. It measures the international ripple effects of a country's policies and practices. It considered three main dimensions of these effects. First one is environmental and social impacts. Second is economic and financial spillovers. Third one is security spillovers. Environmental and social impacts included in trade, embodied in trade, that is pollution caused by production for export. Economic and financial spillover example, financial crisis spreading across borders. Security spillovers, instability in one country impacting the safety of others. It's quite obvious. Now move to the statistical performance index. India scored 74.5 in this index. 74.5 in this index. It measures the strength of a country's, it is an international spillover index. It measures the strength of a country's national statistical system. A higher score indicates a country has a more reliable and comprehensive statistical system, which is crucial for effectively tracking progress toward the social development goals. What are the key recommendation of the reports? United Nations Sustainable Development Reports are after conducting all everything, they have given the key recommendation. What are the key recommendation? First one is the strengthen global cooperation and multilateralism. Second one is the addressing financial gaps for sustainable developments. The report recommends nation to collaborate by sharing resources. They should share with each other the different type of resources, preventing duplication of efforts and developing fair solution, uh, um, clear solution for global issues. Transparent solution for global issues. Revitalized international institution, clear goals, tracking system, engagement from all stakeholders are crucial. Examples such as Paris Agreement and the Montreal Protocol illustrate the power of collaboration. Addressing financial gaps for sustainable development, the report recommended up the institutional frameworks to facilitate a channel financials towards sustainable development initiatives. It proposes the implementation of innovative global taxation mechanism to generate additional resources for sustainable development. The report calls for shift in investment priorities toward funding public goods such as quality education, that is a social development goal 4, as a crucial component of sustainable development. It emphasizes the need to improve the availability and accessibility of affordable long-term capital, particularly for low and middle income countries. So these are the two key recommendations. Fable pathways. Fable pathway, this is also the recommendation of the United Nations Report 2024. Innovative solutions such as Fable. Fable short for food, agriculture, biodiversity, land use and energy. Pathways should be implemented to address the different types of challenges in the food and the land system, reducing overconsumption and limiting the intake of animal-based protein, emphasizing the need to respect cultural preferences and dietary habits. Targeted investment to enhance agricultural productivity, particularly in high demand areas, establishment of inclusive and transparent monitoring system involving various stakeholders and local communities to curb deforestation. These are the few questions given in the slide, PYQ of previous year of a UPSC exam. First one is a pre-exam and second one is two questions as given for the main exam UPSC, PYQ. Student, can you go through it? Frequently asked question, what is sustainable development? What is the issue of sustainability importance for development? So sustainable development, we have acquired too much knowledge about this. It is a holistic approach to growth that meets the need of present and without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So it integrates economic, social and environmental dimension. It is the motto. So this time we not only the protect the present generation, we also protect the future also. Why is the issue of sustainability importance for development? It's very important because it ensures that resources are used responsibly, resources are used judicially, minimize environmental impact, taking care of environment, promote social equality, foster economic stability, ultimately leading to a healthier planet. The planet should be healthy. Planet should be balanced. Planet should be maintained and society and maintain the healthier society for future generation. How many sustainable development goals are there? 17. So in next slide, we will learn the different types of 17 sustainable development goals. Policies and initiative for environmental sustainability. What are the policy and initiatives for to maintain the environmental sustainability? By 2030, by the year 2030, the global biodiversity framework is having 4 goals. It has 4 goals and 23 targets. And how 4 goals and 23 targets are associated with to protect the earth, to protect 30% of the earth's land, ocean, coastal areas and inland waters, reduce harmful government subsidies by $500 billion per year, cut food waste by half, increase international financial flows from developed to developing countries, particularly least developed countries, small island developing states and countries with transition economies to at least $30 billion per year to restore biodiversity. The Kunming Monetary Global Biodiversity Framework was established in the year 2022 as a breakthrough agreement among governments to alter society's connection with biodiversity. So, our government policy is the coming monetary global biodiversity framework was established in the year 2022. While the Paris Agreement seeks to address the negative effect of climate change, the Global Biodiversity Framework seeks to address the underlying cause of threats to nature and the benefits it provides to humans. So it is about the Paris Agreements. Now move to the policies and initiative for environmental, how to maintain the environmental sustainability. The India has given the few policies and has taken few initiatives. In among these, the few are India has made significant strides in renewable energy development. We have to protect our, we have to develop our renewable energy. World's largest producer of renewable energy product, particularly solar and wind power. The country has set ambitious target to increase its renewable energy capacity to achieve 450 GW by the year 2030. India co-founded the International Solar Alliance with France. So India has co-founded the International Solar Alliance with France. The ISA aims to promote social energy adoption and facilitate collaboration among social rich countries. So there is government has also has taken government mission is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Clear India Mission. It focuses on solid waste management, cleanliness, and sanitation, as well as Jal Shakti Abhiyan. It focuses on water conservation, rainwater harvesting, and groundwater recharge. Namami Ganga program, it rejuvenate and clean the Ganga river. The government has launched initiative like a Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, it promotes organic farming, soil health management, and agroecology practices. So these are the initiative and policies for environmental sustainability of India. Environmental sustainability, it addresses the interconnected nature of global changes. It ensures the health and preservation of ecosystem, forest, ocean, wetlands, biodiversity. Issues like poverty, hunger, water scarcity, climate change, all are interrelated and there must be taken holistic solution. It provides a framework for addressing these challenges in integrated, coordinated manner, fostering collaboration between governments, organizations, businesses, and individuals. So, by taking all these action, we can restore, preserve our ecosystem, maintain the balance and the functioning of Earth's natural system, which is very important for human well-being and survival. Undoubtedly, by embracing sustainable practices and policies, we can create a more resilient, thriving, holistic, inclusive world for current and future generation. Role of social development growth in environmental sustainability. There are different goals to which addresses natural resource management, climate change, water related concern, marine issue, biodiversity, ecosystem, circular economy, environmentally sound management of waste and chemical and variety of other areas. So these some key connection are the goal 6, clean water and sanitation. Goal clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, Goal 11, sustainable cities and affordability. Goal 6 emphasize the importance of ensuring clean water and sanitation for all them. Goal 7, affordable and clean energy, modern energy, promotes renewable energy resources and energy efficiency. Goal 11, sustainable cities and communities, need to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. It addresses issues such as urbanization, air pollution, waste management, and access to green spaces, creating sustainable cities and communities. Goal 12, responsible consumption and production. It encourages resource efficiency, waste reduction, sustainable management of chemicals and waste, and the implementation of environmentally sound practices. Goal 13, climate action. Focus on urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts, climate related disasters, promoting climate adaptation measures. So these are the goal 13, climate action, taking care of climate action. Goal 14, life below water, and Goal 15, life on land. These are dedicated to the conservation and sustainable use of marine and terrestrial ecosystem respectively. Protecting and restoring this ecosystem are essential for environmental sustainability and the well-being of both human and non-human species. Goal 7 is the partnership for the goals, recognizes the importance of global partnership in achieving all the social development goals, including environmental sustainability. So collaboration between government, businesses, civil society, and other stakeholders is essential for mobilizing resources, sharing knowledge, and implementing effective environmental initiatives. So there are so many challenges and for maintaining the sustainable development goals. So while the sustainable development goals, it provide a comprehensive framework to achieve the environmental sustainability. There are several key challenges also, like climate change, sometimes biodiversity loss, unsustainable consumption and production, water scarcity, pollution, increased amount of pollution in all everywhere, governance and policy implementation, global cooperation. So these challenges require a multifaceted approach that integrates environmental consideration into development planning, promotes sustainable practices, and enhance capacity building efforts and fosters international cooperation. So it requires addressing social and economic factors that contribute to environmental degradation, ensuring inclusivity and empowering communities to participate in sustainable development efforts. To accelerate progress toward achieving environmental sustainability, it is important to implement different strategies and measures that address the key challenges and promote sustainable practices. So, accelerate the progress, strengthening the policy frameworks, promote sustainable consumption, production, increasing investment in renewable energy, conserving and restoring biodiversity, improving waste management, strengthening climate action, fostering collaboration and partnership. And last but not the least, is to promote environmental education and awareness. So, in conclusion, I must say that efforts to address the climate issue and meet sustainable development goals will fall until world leaders, governments, businesses, and individuals take decisive steps to decrease the enormous pressure placed on nature. In reality, investing in nature is not a diversion from other types of growth. Rather, it is essential for progress and a sustainable future. These are the key environmental changes. Despite global accords, biodiversity and ecosystem laws are continuously improving, increasing, accelerating across the globe. We are witnessing a dangerous decrease in nature. Humans are to blame, and all for this. Who is responsible? Humans are responsible. There is extinction of so many different important species are continuously happening. Nature has deteriorated more drastically in the last 50 years than at any other period in the history of humanity, while global warming risks have accelerated. We face the sixth great extinction with up to 1 million species threatened. Sixth great extinction with up to 1 million species are in threatening, are threatened, extincted. Few many are extincted and many are endangered. Humans have altered 75% of the Earth's ice-free surface, destroying wetland areas, destroying marine habitats, and diminishing the ocean and forest. More than two-thirds of the tropics population, are around 2.7 billion people, rely directly on nature and biodiversity for at least one of their fundamental requirements. Today, over 1.6 billion people rely on forest for a living, including 70 million indigenous people, and 80% of people living in developing countries and rural areas relying on traditional planet-based remedies for basic health care. So in conclusion, in today's society, while we recognize our reliance on Earth's resources, we are totally relying on our Earth's resources, our Earth environmental resources. We often overlook the deep connection between the economy and environment. We are not taking care of the balance between the economy and the environment. Unlimited economic growth is unsustainable due to their finite nature of these resources. And ignoring this will jeopardize the futures if we do not take care of the unlimited resources of environment. It will definitely jeopardize the future. It will make our future in danger. Pursuing material wealth has damaged the environment. We are moving towards the material wealth and damaging the environment. But developing countries can balance coal with renewable energy in the short term. A global coalition for clean coal technology alongside increasing renewable energy use is crucial for climate change mitigation and sustainable development. Ultimately, we must take responsibility for fostering a more sustainable world. In the development process, we have failed to recognize that poverty and environmental damage are interlinked. Environmental are damaging, then poverty is ultimately increasing. We can't lift people out of poverty if we don't conserve the environment and the natural resources they rely on. Similarly, we cannot protect the environment if we don't address the needs of people in poverty. The poor depend most on natural resources for their livelihoods and suffer most from the impacts of climate change, deforestation, and other environmental problems. So environment and development issues can be separated, cannot be separated. The result of destroying rainforest ultimately lead to the remove of shelters for the native people with only slums left to reside in. So we have to take care of our society. We have to we have to make the deep connection between the economy and environment, and like in this way there is a proper social development goal will be achieved.